Jackson. Welcome to Natalie Jackson Plant Detective. I'm so excited today to share with you the plants and animals that I saw while I was in Oahu and Kauai in the Hawaiian Islands. I got to visit my husband Aaron while he was working over there, and it was just such a great time. I got to really explore the islands as an adult. I had been there a few times as a teenager and as a child, but being there as an adult is something special. I got to really enjoy everything and take it slow. And so let's start. This is a collection of some flowers and plants that I saw in Oahu, in several different botanical gardens that I visited. This one is in the Lili Kulani. It's the Park of the Queen. It is a beautiful little space that has a little waterfall and these beautiful blue ginger plants. I also got to visit this incredible botanical garden inside of a crater, the Koko Crater Botanical Garden. It has different sections that are dedicated to different things, different parts of the world or different flowers. And so the paths there just look so dreamy and beautiful. It was really warm, but the clouds were kind of rolling in a little bit. There was a little bit of drizzle here and there, and it was just a beautiful day and a beautiful sight. You can see this giant bougainvillea. It was just so bursting with color. I loved it so much. The plumerias, of course. Plumerias are a very important flower in Hawaiian culture, and it is a beautiful plant. A lot of people bring them here to Southern California and plant them, and they're just such a gorgeous smelling flower, and they come in all different colors. But in this place in particular, I was just so impressed with how large the plumeria trees were. They're probably fairly old, and they were just in full bloom. Is the white hibiscus, which is this beautiful flower right here. Also at the Koko Crater, along with these beautiful little white plumerias. So cute. And they smelled so good. The bougainvillea really was just such a beautiful pop of color, and it really brought a lot of a essence of home, just because there's so much bougainvillea all over Los Angeles. So it was nice to see that throughout the park. And I love this daylily. It's just so beautiful. I had to snap a shot of it. There had just been a little bit of rain, and so it just looked so beautiful. This is a red ginger plant, a very beautiful plant. I was very impressed with the staghorn ferns growing all over the trees. They're so beautiful. We have a staghorn fern on our balcony, but seeing these and the size is just so impressive. And then the way the botanical gardens are laid out, everything is really intermingled in some of them. And so you can kind of see here, there's a fern, there's this beautiful field of flowers, and then a beautiful blue ginger right in the middle. And it was just such a beautiful sight to see. I love seeing places with lots of ferns because they're just so beautiful. And these are called golden cups. Love the way they looked. The composition was just so perfect. I had to take a picture. Alright, so now I'm going to share a couple of videos with you. I got to hike to Mauna Falls, and it is, this was in August, so there wasn't too much water there, but there was still a good amount coming down. So let's get the first one down. So, of course, it's tourist season, so there are a lot of people at these waterfalls, but I kind of like to think of the sounds of people as additional nature sounds. And this is along the trail leading up to the waterfall. Very beautiful indeed. I wanted to also share some of the wildlife that I got to see. The wildlife here is all in Oahu. And then on the next slide, I'll be showing you some water animals. But here you can see a beautiful bee on the begonias. And there were tons of begonias all over the Koko Crater garden. And I was lucky enough to see this sweet little bee making its rounds. And then this gorgeous butterfly. It is so pretty. So this butterfly is called the Gulf fritillary. Very gorgeous little guy. So pretty, right? I mean, come on. And then, of course, Hawaii has tons of reptiles, and I love seeing all the lizards around. As a kid growing up in Southern California, I always wanted to try to catch the lizards, so I'd really hold my urge to do so back and be an adult, And then this little guy's a mongoose. Can you even believe it? How weird and cute is that? Really playful, kind of crazy little guys. We're used to our squirrels here, but to see the mongoose was pretty cool. This is a spotted dove. And then this is the beautiful zebra dove. They're much smaller. They look very delicate, almost porcelain. Very precious. So this little bird is a baby bird, kind of figuring out flying and hunting and all those good things. And this bird is a white-rumped shama, and it was very curious. It was just on a branch while I was walking through the Koko Crater Botanical Garden, and it just kind of looked at me. It wasn't really scared of me. And just posed for a couple cute pictures. And I believe this was its father. That is an adult white-rumped shama. And possibly, this is my speculation, the father and mother white-rumped shamas together. I could be wrong, but that's what I thought when I saw them all out in the wild. A big part of the conservation effort is around the wildlife, and there's some incredible wildlife on the Hawaiian Islands, including sea turtles. This was in Kauai. We were on a boat along the Natalie coast, seeing the beautiful coastline, and along the way we saw beautiful turtles, and there were a lot of them, so it seemed like maybe there was a bloom of jellyfish and they were going in for their meal. And we also got to see Hawaiian monk seals. Now you'll notice here there's a sign, and someone actually asked us when we were there, how did the seals know to swim up to the sign? And the reality is there are people that they see it as their duty to be stewards of these beautiful creatures, and as soon as they see them on the shore, they put the sign in so that people know, do not disturb them, keep a radius around them. They are here to sleep. It's a part of their natural cycles, so please let them be. This beach was beautiful. It was Salt Pond Beach and on Kauai, and it was just so beautiful watching them there sleep. They're so peaceful. And this sweet beach over here, Mauna Kea Beach, really, this beach was very dreamy. So this is a typical resting place for sea turtles. They come and take naps, mostly between 10 and 2, but, they don't have watches. They kind of go with the flow of things. If there's a predator in the area, they may come up a little sooner or whatever. They might not go back in if they think the predator's still there. So, generally people say 10 to 2. And you'll notice here there's also a sign kind of behind the turtle, and that is because, again, there are volunteers who are dedicated to making sure that no one messes with these turtles, and they put up signs. They have t-shirts and buttons, and they'll answer any questions you have about the turtles. They because they do this volunteer work, they know quite a bit about the turtles and know which one is which. And the signs actually have the turtles' names on them. And what's cool about this beach is you're right there in the water, and you look out and you just see a little turtle head popping up, and it's so cute. And they just look like they're smiling at you. This is one pair. There were two signs, but I only got the one in the picture. Big eyes. Maka Nui is the baby, who's about a teenager. And it was just so beautiful to see the two of them, taking their nap together. That was really heartwarming. And it was just like the perfect moment, It was like, oh my gosh, look at these beauties. Like, I understand why so many people are dedicated to making sure they're safe. Look at how wonderful they are. So, back to Kauai. We were on the boat in Kauai, and we got to see two different kinds of dolphins. These are bottlenose dolphins, which we see relatively frequently around Los Angeles, especially out in Malibu. We see them kind of running around chasing the fish. And, we got to see this little family of bottlenose dolphins. And we got to see spinner dolphins, which are tiny, so cute, about 2 to 3 feet long. And they travel in much larger packs, around like 40. So we ran into one of these packs, and it was so cool. It may take a second to really focus in on this picture, but as you kind of look deeper and deeper in the picture, you see more and more and more and more dolphins, and it really felt that way. There were maybe 10 under the boat, 20 surrounding the boat on one side, 20 on the other side. They were all over the place. It really just felt like, holy moly, we are surrounded by the cutest sea animal in the world. So it was really fun. I'd like to show you a little video of the spinner dolphins that we took. It's pretty short, and you can just see how excited everyone was. Very exciting, right? Hawaii is a beautiful collection of volcanic islands that are just bursting with greenery and wildlife and birds, and it's just so beautiful there. Each island has its own personality, its own elements and forces that move it, and you can really feel the spirit of the people just when you're interacting with them and chatting with them for a little bit. And people there are really people to pay attention to, particularly with their love of nature, because within the Hawaiian traditions, I learned how important nature is. I learned how important specific plants are to the Hawaiian culture, like taro, and the reverence of nature and plants by the native Hawaiian culture is really beautiful. And one part of that currently is an ongoing for decades fight to protect a sacred mountain. Mauna Kea is a sacred mountain to the native Hawaiian people. It is a place to go for ceremonial purposes, for burials, for the change of the seasons. It's where the gods sleep. It is so important to the culture, and it has unfortunately been abused by the University of Hawaii and the government. And the initial agreements, in the talks in the 70s and 80s, were all about protecting the land and upholding certain requirements to be able to operate on this sacred land. And it just seems time and again that these requirements are not being met. And because of that, the people, every time this comes up, the people take a stand. It happened in 2005. The people stood up and said no more, and they were able to win that war, win that battle, I should say. in the courts. But again, there's a new proposal, or the same proposal, for the giant telescope to be put on the top of the mountain, and the people have taken a stance and said no more of that. And so, I want to help spread their message, because it is important to preserve our sacred grounds. Our natural wildlife reserves are the key to our survival. And it was really beautiful being in Oahu, because it is such a populated area, and while it's not the island where this is all happening, everyone clearly has an opinion on it and is, talking about it on the streets and waving their protest flags and attaching the flags to the trucks saying, no, we don't want this anymore. There are signs in front of properties. If you talk to anyone, they don't want it. They don't want their land to continue to be abused. And, the mountain has been mistreated, and it's time to take a stance and say no more. I would like to invite you to follow along with what's going on at Mauna Kea through the Office of Hawaiian Affairs website, oha.org/Mauna Kea. That's MAUNAKEA. And keep up with what's going on there. They'll update you with the lawsuits that have been happening, and keep you posted on what's going on. And truly, is the knowledge worth the destruction? For some people it might be, but for me it's not. So I would love to just recommend that we take a moment and remember that while we're over here doing our busy lives, there are just dolphins swimming in the ocean and sea turtles taking naps on the beach, and they're very important, and we should make sure that we help protect them. So next time I will be introducing a new format to the show, in which I am going to be offering a little more of nature's wisdom, a little more of the nature videos and nature noises, and I'll also go back to answering your plant questions, because I just can't resist a good plant mystery. So if you have any plant questions, please feel free to submit them through my website, cultivatelovela.com, or my social media handle, Natalie Cultivates. While you're on my website, cultivatelovela.com, browse my other offerings, like my nature and gardening bookshop, or my garden coaching packages, where I help you build your garden practice at home. LA area only, but I'm working on the world. So hopefully I'll be able to help all of you with your plant and gardening questions. Send them over. I'm here, and I'm ready to answer your questions. See you next time. So thank you for watching this episode of Natalie Jackson, Plant Detective. See you next time. Bye. What is this butterfly called? What is this butterfly called?